Jai Shri Ram. Literally speaking, what does that phrase mean? The word literal means the most common meaning of a word. The opposite of literal is implied, suggested meaning. Now, you're speaking in a literal or strict sense. That's what it means when we are speaking literally. Other words for literally include black and white terms, verbatim. Verbatim means word for word. Verbatim translation. Of course, for example, many Hindu haters and all these translators and European historians and our own Marxist distortionists. Distortionist is a historian who distorts history. So these rascals have, for example, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa is there. They have translated Paramahamsa as supreme goose. Hamsa means goose or swan, Param means supreme. So, supreme goose, what kind of nonsense is this? So, you can't refer to Swami Ramakrishna Paramahamsa as Swami Ramakrishna supreme goose. Oh my God. So, this kind of antics, antics, pranks, gags, practical jokes, pranks and antics, capers, all these, practical jokes or pranks, these are all not in good taste. So, verbatim translations are dangerous, and this is important for every Hindu to understand, because Sanskrit words, most of them are untranslatable, because the reach of Sanskrit is much greater than that of English. Sanskrit vocabulary has got more than 10 lakh words and more than 2,400 dhatus or root words with which new words can be created. Sanskrit and Telugu and Hindi, Indian languages don't have the need to steal from other languages, because their number of letters in Telugu is also 56, Sanskrit is 50. So, in fact, Telugu vocabulary is larger than that of Sanskrit. So, we have wonderful languages with huge vocabularies and the capacity to coin new words, whereas English is a congenitally impotent language, just like their culture. And language is the vehicle of culture, language reflects culture, is what everyone says. So, if you look at English, English steals words from every other language, just like the English did. Throughout history, that's what they have been doing. And the worst thing is, they are keeping our Kohinoor and all the diamonds, all the things they stole from all over the world, they're keeping them in museums. If they had any shame left in them, they should return these stolen goods back to the real owners. The word in English is fence, F-E-N-C-E. Fence means a person who buys stolen goods. So, England is the international fence of the world. So, use this sentence someday to give them a sock on their face. So, verbatim translation. So, I hope you understood. Literal meaning means the most common meaning of a word. The implied meaning, suggested meaning. There can be any number of literal meanings and any number of implied meanings. So, suppose you say, she was literally crying. Now, this word literal is a dangerous word. Why? Because it has got two meanings, and the meanings are opposites of each other. Suppose I say she was literally crying. Was she crying? Or was she on the verge of crying? You will say, yeah, she was on the verge of crying. You're right. But she was literally crying can also mean she was actually crying. She was actually crying. So, literally crying can mean actually crying or not crying, but on the verge of crying. So, this word is an idiotic word as usual in English. You don't have such a word anywhere in Sanskrit except perhaps one or two. In English you have many. In the Bhagavad Gita you have this word aparyaptam. First chapter 10th shloka. Aparyaptam tadasmakam balam bhima virakshitam. Aparyaptam tadasmakam balam bhishma virakshitam. Paryaptam tvidamyatesham balam bhima virakshitam. So Duryodhana says aparyaptam. Aparyaptam, this is our army protected by Bhishma is aparyaptam. Their army protected by Bhima is paryaptam. Now, some people have translated aparyaptam as unlimited, and some people have translated aparyaptam as limited. Aparyaptam gane unnadi, limited. So, this confusion is there, but we have to understand from the context. So, if you study the Bhagavad Gita, you will find this verse is very interesting, 110.